I was embarrassed, but I smiled and carried on anyway. My body grew weak, no food tempting enough to provide the nourishment one might seek, to fill the hunger pains, but that was just it. What I know now, that I didn't quite recognize then, it was soul, not my stomach, that was held hostage in an empty pit. I arrived to school each day bittersweet, mostly jaded from the whole experience and the vibrant faces I would soon greet. You see, I was a California native, a recent college grad, now in a foreign world where the bureaucratic injustices of the education system made me furious, rebellious, and sad. Hotlanta was the pseudonym for this place I would now call home. Wrapped ever so tightly in its Bible Belt views, surely this was no place for someone like me to roam. But I was idealistic and eager, ready to take on the world. I graduated, stepped into womanhood, no longer a little girl. Fast forward some time, year number 3 to be exact. You would have found me locked in the teacher's restroom stall, tears overflowing, mind and body all out of whack. The blood didn't go away. Now day 12, this was the longest stretch Aunt Flo did stay. Now I'm feeling my heart pound faster and louder. To myself, I declare a decision must be made once and for all, as I pass clots the size of a plum that day in the teacher's restroom stall. Finally, right then I got the courage. No longer could I tolerate the embarrassment or the pain. It was time to uncover what was going on with me, and as you might imagine, there were many things going through my brain. I visited the doctor to undergo what felt like interrogation and test after test. But I wanted to end the weakness, the blood and pain. So despite being overwhelmed, I figured the doctors knew best. Try this pill. Oh, here's another, since that didn't work like we thought. Through the disappointment and anticipation of my inexplicable, bloody experience, I was convinced my healing could be bought. In the midst of the trials and many errors, I was advised to take time off and rest at home. Would I bleed to death? Am I diseased? So many places my tormented mind uncontrollably roamed. But in a flash, Aunt Flo departed with no traces of her red-bottom footprints in sight. This was day 1 of my day off. It happened so suddenly, literally, the blood came to a halt overnight. A full calendar week has now elapsed, and I've almost magically recovered my hunger, my strength, and my hope. It was inner peace that consumed my spirit and eased the tormenting in my body. But in that moment, this was something I did not know. You see, how the rest of the story unfolds is this. I just wanted to get back in the game. I wasn't a player used to sitting the bench. So I called my doctor and principal to let them know I'd return to work early, and I did this eagerly, no sign of even a flinch. As I tell you this story now, my mind and body vividly recalls the night before I was scheduled to go back. Early that Sunday evening, my body experienced convulsions. I was overtaken by tears, and not only did Aunt Flo return, but I was having an anxiety attack. So this was the culprit, the underlying cause of it all. The Sunday night blues was the diagnosis that left me bloody for weeks, hunched over in the teacher's restroom stall. After this epiphany came to light, I was faced with having to make a choice. Do I stay? Do I leave? Do I bleed? Do I eat? These were the thoughts, the questions that rang to the sound of my voice. I tried to commit. I tried to stay strong and I tried to push through. but my body only grew weaker, my mind all over, and my soul felt more abandoned. Each week, I accepted the Sunday night blues. When I finally mustered the courage to quit, figure out next steps later, but put me first, the journey to healing began. It was the beginning of my soul's rebirth. The blood was symbolic. It indicated I was alive. The tears, Sunday night convulsions, and pain from the plum-sized clots were telling that my soul's calling and my actions were not aligned. Dis-ease, discontent. They are the result of incongruency and neglect. If you take anything from my story, I'd want you to prioritize your well-being. Prioritize you in love and life, because it will always be your best bet.